Hey, this is the third vlog this week. Today I'm mainly going to be talking about my music and being diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia, which is not my whole identity, but definitely informs some of my eccentricities as an individual. Um, Originally, when I first got diagnosed, I would literally walk up to people and say, like, hey, my name's Drew, I've got paranoid schizophrenia, and that didn't fly. So I've learned to back it off a bit, but at the same time, I feel so uncomfortable being around people, be it from intrusive thoughts to insecurity, from confidence, of just not trusting reality to be what it is for other people to me. I mean, there's been several times that it's caused me a lot of heartache. The reason I don't perform music like live right now is because I've caused a lot of issues with the venues in Knoxville. Because when I was psychotic 10 years ago, I actually got banned from several of them. And even if I'm not banned, I'm not fondly thought of from my psychotic state. Um, I remember there was a time when I walked into one venue and I was like, yeah, I'm on medication now. And they were like, my friend's got way more debilitating mental illness than you. And, like, it doesn't explain your behavior. Like, basically, I'm a jerk. And it's like fair play to that. But that being said, I still wish I could perform. Um, I'm trying. I've got some buddies in the area who are trying to help me find somewhere that'll let me. But it may just be I'm not good enough. I mean, I've kind of come to terms with that. I'm reality testing enough to know that I am not the best singer. I've got a good voice, but I don't practice enough, especially since I've gotten dentures because it's so much effort to put them in every day. But I mean, that's just part of, like, and anyone who's like, oh, he's so lazy, he won't put in his dentures. It's hard to describe the kind of apathy that comes from losing objective reality for a sustained period of time. If your radio's told you, like, basically you're gonna go to hell, or that you remember things objectively that are impossible, like fasting 40 days and 40 nights, or if you like, if you do anything and then people say, it's almost like the AI effect of nowadays, where it's like, people will dismiss your work as it is AI if they don't like it, or to some extent, like, I don't know. It's almost like reality testing is such a personal thing that it dawned on me that what other people think is really a very relative thing. When it's consistent, there's some truth to it, but even then, there are exceptions. It's the nature of reality to be almost unpin downable. you know? I mean, the idea that you can reduce reality or a life to a simple statement of either it is a success or a failure is an oversimplification of the nature of being. There's usually, like, even if you reduced it to a state of, like, multiple examples of either success or failure, and then you were like, which is more common? The butterfly effect of giving someone a high five when they don't deserve it is, like, you know, it's complicated. And I mean, but that's a big part of schizophrenia, I feel, is they stop the active symptoms. So I'm not hallucinating regularly now, and I haven't been hallucinating regularly for over 10 years, except for some little episodes. And it's like, the thing is that strange things will happen. Like, I was watching Nirvana's or Kurt Cobain documentary, Montage of Heck, once, and the light flickered when they were singing the orchestral rendition of "Smells Like Teen Spirit," and it flickered exactly on when the lights are out and the light turned off, and to turn back on, it's less dangerous. And this is where it gets in a schizophrenic state, where it's like, you say that and you're like, well, the light flickered off at an odd moment, coincidence to natural state of reality. But, I mean, specifically in context is the issue. I mean, I'm reality testing enough to know to not trust that to make a winning lottery ticket investment, because it's so vague that there's nothing really to take from it other than if you know what you know, then take it serious. And I feel like that's a big part of like living with mental illness, is that the subjectivity of experience, the apathy of knowing that I'll never know, and that it's not freeing because other people apparently do. That's the nature of subjectivity. It's not a universal conclusion. It's not just because one person's subjective experience with reality is totally unreliable does not mean that another person who has a very normal, successful life doesn't have a pinpoint ideal or valid expression of what reality can be. Because I've not experienced something does not mean it's inexperienceable. And likewise, because you've not hallucinated, if you haven't, which is probably a blessing, that doesn't mean that other people do not hallucinate or have active psychosis, or, I mean, faith is not a delusion, but it's the hardest one because I was a hardcore atheist until my psychotic episode led me towards Jesus and the cross and faith, and I feel like I've got such an ability to rationalize delusions that sometimes I feel like I'm in a weird position because my brain works well enough to rationalize psychosis, which is a hard thing to rationalize. But it's still actively engaging with subjective experiences that are not experienced by everyone in the room. Meaning that even though I can interpret it as like some Joan of Arc shit in my brain, that's probably what would be called a delusion. And I would agree with that assessment. But that doesn't take anything from my faith. It's that dualistic kind of context of like trying to find something that accommodates everything, includes personal experience. Dogmatically anti-dogma doesn't remove dogma. Or like a snake eating his tail or something. I mean, it's like trying to accommodate the reality that I've experienced and trying to understand it on its terms is the hardest thing I've done. But I've probably proven why people don't let me play shows. Give him a mic. What's he doing? He's ranting again. But like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's a lot of what's on my mind. This was a more personal one. I'm probably gonna wrap it up because again, I'm trying to keep going about 10 minutes a day. And it'll give me plenty to talk about for a while. But that being said, I don't know. Peace and love, and take it easy.